What's the plan?
I'll get a charmer. Last question. So the surfboard, is that part of your body or is that...
So she dumped you already?
Alright, so the moment we've been waiting for has finally arrived. Yesterday and today, select audiences got to see Fantastic Four First Steps in its entirety. And now with the social media embargo officially lifted, the reactions are pouring in. We're getting a real sense of what people think about Marvel's newest take on the Fantastic Four. So let's dive into the very first impressions and see what everyone's buzzing about. First off, yes, the movie was screened yesterday, and while full reviews are still under wraps, the early buzz is already building online and on social media. A lot of people are saying it has a much more serious tone than they were expecting, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it might be one of the rare Marvel movies that doesn't constantly break up tension with humor. And according to reactions, the strongest part of the film is definitely the family dynamic. Their powers are cool, sure, but apparently the most jaw-dropping action takes place in space. And here's the thing, Marvel letting social media reactions drop a week early before the release, that's usually a good sign. Studios usually keep tight-lipped if they don't believe in the movie, so this early rollout says something. Next up, let's talk about a pretty glowing take from Dio. He went all in, calling Fantastic Four a masterpiece. He specifically highlighted the visual effects and the score, saying they're massive standouts. Oh, and Galactus is apparently huge in IMAX. Dio also mentioned it's emotional, full of hope, and hits hard from start to finish. And yes, definitely stick around for those end credits. So that's already one major thumbs up. But let's see what other critics are saying about Marvel's first family. Andrew J. Salazar from Discussing Films had some powerful things to say too. He emphasized that Fantastic Four is, at its heart, a story about family, where every team member matters equally, no one gets left out. He praised the movie's character work, especially the bonds between Pedro, Vanessa, Ebon and Joseph. According to him, the 60s inspired retro aesthetic absolutely nails it. Pedro plays Reed with calm brilliance and Joseph gives Johnny a heroic charm. But the real standouts? For Andrew, it's Ebon's Ben and Vanessa's Sue. He says they're the glue that's holding the team together, emotionally grounded, deeply relatable, and just magnetic. And if you're wondering about the action, well, the early buzz says it's less about non-stop fights and more about solving problems as a family. Let's see how others are responding to that shift. So far, the vibe is that this isn't your usual Marvel beat 'em up. It's got action, yes, but it focuses more on teamwork and character than explosions. A few reactions note that the plot gets a little messy at times. Some scenes feel trimmed down to meet the runtime, but Galactus is reportedly stunning, and even if the story isn't perfect, the cast really carries the film. And speaking of standouts, here's a hot take from Brian of Brian Long Films. Brian said he went in with low expectations but walked out impressed. According to him, this is a return to form for the MCU. He was blown away by the opening sequences, especially in IMAX, and praised Gardner and Quinn's contributions in particular. Galactus, even when he's off-screen, brings a real sense of danger. And get this, Brian gave a special shout out to the incredible miniature work in the film. So far, this is shaping up to be visually stunning, but not every review is over the moon. So let's look at a more balanced reaction next. Brandon Davis from Phase Hero shared a more nuanced perspective. He called Fantastic Four First Steps one of Marvel's most visually impressive projects yet, even comparing parts of it to Interstellar and emphasizing how much it deserves an IMAX viewing. Galactus, awesome. Silver Surfer apparently looks fantastic. Brandon said the VFX were top tier, calling it a true visual feast. But, and here's the twist, he felt like the story didn't fully grab him. It had heart, it had action, but he was hoping for more emotional payoff. Still, he liked it, just didn't love it. He did praise the cast, especially Vanessa Kirby, who he says is the heart and soul of the movie. Johnny Storm was his personal favorite, and Paul Walter Hauser apparently steals every scene he's in. And that mention of Sue Storm really ties into what we already know from the trailers. Galactus is after her child, Franklin Richards, and that sets the stage for her emotional arc. And yes, based on early reactions, the chemistry between Pedro and Vanessa, Reed and Sue seems to be a major highlight. Honestly, the whole cast appears to have brought their A-game. Ash Crossan from Screen Rant chimed in saying Fantastic Four is visually stunning, stylish and easy to get into, even for newcomers. She loved the retro-futuristic look, calling it such a snack. Her standout, once again, Vanessa Kirby. Babe, I will die for you, she says. That's pretty passionate. And if you thought that was hype, wait till you hear this next one. Chris Cullion from comicbook.com went big with his reaction. Fantastic Four rocks harder than any Marvel movie before it. He said the movie felt like Jack Kirby's imagination coming to life. And with Superman also dropping this year, 2025 might just be the year comic book weirdness finally gets the spotlight it deserves. He had doubts going in, but the team chemistry finally won him over by the end. He highly recommends watching it in IMAX, just to feel Galactus' voice rumble your bones. The only downside? The CGI baby scenes. Yes, just like Superman, Fantastic Four has a few uncanny baby moments that might give you nightmares. He joked that the actors might as well wrap a football in a blanket. Can't argue with that. And hey, the baby CGI might be rough, but if that's the biggest flaw, then that's a win. Matt Naglia echoed a lot of what we've been hearing. He said many will call First Steps fantastic, and they'd be right. The main cast got huge praise, and Giacchino's score instantly memorable. He also loved the retro production design and called the visuals a treat, not an eyesore. He did note that the whole family theme might be a little overdone at this point in the MCU, and the villains don't quite reach top tier status. But thanks to strong performances, you end up caring a lot about the characters and the stakes. He summed it up as a confident and intriguing debut for Marvel's new team, easily the best version of the Fantastic Four on screen so far. And that's not all. Let's squeeze in a few more reactions before we wrap up. Law said that the film is solid like Ben Grimm. He loved the chemistry between the team, calling it out of this world. The visuals, especially the powers and the space scenes, are apparently breathtaking. His favorite moments? The banter between Ben and Johnny, which he said was hilarious. He also felt that Reed and Sue had a really genuine loving connection. Galactus? Absolutely massive. His voice literally rumbled Law's seat in the theater. He admitted that the story is just good, not great, but still handled very well, and is excited to see where this team goes next. And finally, let's wrap it up with a strong statement from the movie podcast. Anthony had this to say: Fantastic Four is simply fantastic, no pun intended. He said Marvel's first family shines with amazing chemistry and charisma, the kind Stan Lee would have been proud of. From start to finish, the visuals dazzle. Ben Grimm brings the heart, Silver Surfer is perfect, and director Matt Shakman delivers one of Marvel's strongest entries. So what's the general verdict here? It seems like most reactions are pointing in the same direction. The film is visually stunning, the score is incredible, and Galactus' voice is spine-tingling, and the cast absolutely delivers. The only minor critique? The story might not land for everyone, but that varies by reviewer. Still, early buzz says this could be a huge win for Marvel. And yes, many are calling it the best Fantastic Four movie to date. But hey, don't just take their word for it. Go see the film yourself and form your own opinion. Personally, I'm really hyped for this one, and I can't wait to experience it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you excited or are you still on the fence? And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Marvel updates headed your way. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.